Welcome back, everyone, to my favorite part of the podcast where I have to introduce it. That was sarcasm, by the way, because this is my least favorite part. Welcome back, all you Lucas hounds. You getting hyped for Obi-Wan? Because I know I am. I know Jacob's kind of hype. He's riding the rail. I feel like you didn't watch Book of Boba Fett, but that was for me. That was like we're getting into it, I guess, already. But I'm just saying,
starting straight out.
We're just starting straight out.
By the way, I'm here this week.
Yeah, Jacob's here this week. I was going to have Nazari here, but I think he was sick a couple days ago, so I just didn't want to bother him. And he's been in like every one so far, so I was just like, I'll give him a break. I'll just reach out to Jacob, have a one-on-one. It's easier for me to edit.
Plus, I kind of owed you one.
Yeah. When you've been on like every other one, it feels like.
Well, I meant I scheduled one with you because you were like, hey, you good this day? And I was like, yeah. And then something came up like last minute.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, everyone's done that so far, so it's fine. Actually, before we do jump into Star Wars, because I was like running out the gate with it, which my apologies. I got 2 things in the mail today. Mail time with Brad. Look how nice this is, guys. Check this out. For the video viewers, this is the Batman.
Has nothing to do with Star Wars, but that's very nice.
On Steelbook, and it's backwards on my screen, but
not on mine.
Yeah, but on the viewers, it's backwards. But look, this is just gorgeous.
That's very nice.
Yeah, I don't know. And then it came with a digital code, so building up that digital library when physical media goes away forever.
I have still yet to see that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
damn, I've seen it twice. Yet. Yeah, it's on HBO Max. Check it out sometime.
I even saw something not making fun of it. I forget if it was Corridor Digital, but there was a video where they basically put Adam West Batman in all the scenes in that movie, or not all.
Yes, that was them, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was Corridor. It was pretty good.
I thought about it together. I was like, I haven't rated this movie yet, and I was like, you know what? I think I'd give it an 8 out of 10. That's what I think I'd go with.
Really?
I think I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
You know what? Actually, now that I think about it, that's pretty low for your Batman scale.
Well,
most Batman things get pretty high for you.
It's a really good movie. Like, I really enjoy it, but there are some things that like kind of bring it down a little bit. But that's, I can't.
I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted now. I mentioned the video. Now I just keep hearing the Adam West song in my head.
Come on, Robin. We need to take down the Riddler. Oh,
the one from Family Guy. They play at the end credits. He's just Adam West singing his own name over and over again. A little softer, a little softer.
I don't remember that.
Adam West, and now a little softer.
He just goes
West,
softer?
No, he says that too. He's like,
he's okay. Damn, that's funny. That's funny.
It's circling through my head now. Like on a loop.
You know how bad that is when you just get shit stuck in your head. I wrote a song. Gosh. For this we're having a new series coming out, guys. So the working title is Junkie Punk TV. Don't ask me. Yeah. So I did a song called Elevator Milkshake, and that shit's been stuck in my head. Like my own fucking song, a meme song, a stupid song stuck in my head. I don't know.
It's not super flattering for you either. So like of all the things to get stuck in your head.
and then I remember the very end of the song, which you'll see it. But speaking of Sayber Court, this is my favorite thing I got in the mail today. And it turned out perfectly.
Woo!
Yep. Merchandise.
Very
Sayber Court
pretty.
merchandise. I love how it's also I guess it's also backwards, but you guys get the point. You guys get the hint. Yeah. I'm probably gonna save it to wear. I was gonna wear it today, but I want to save it to wear later this week. Maybe on Obi-Wan release date. I don't have a Star Wars shirt in my arsenal, which is kind of embarrassing.
I don't either, actually, now that I think about it.
You really
I had a Call of Duty shirt for a while. I have some Harry Potter and some Mario shirts, but
oh shit.
I don't.
Did you see?
I guess it's just most of the fantasy shirts out there are just overly kind of tacky for me. They don't have anything real subtle. I take it back. I did have one really cool shirt in high school I bought, and I knew at the time it was a problem, but I just wanted the shirt so bad. Mm-hmm. I went to PAXN, and PAXN at the time, I guess it was right around the time 2015, 2016. So it was right around the time the new Star Wars stuff was coming out. Mm-hmm. And so they had old Star Wars merch too. And it was a shirt that was Cloud City on Bespin. It was just like the colors and the skyline, and it was a fade, and it was so pretty.
Every Bespin shirt I see is like the best one, or it's one of my, it's like one of my favorites.
And it was a great shirt, but it was a half size too small. And I looked like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And like the first day I wore it, people looked at me and they were like, yeah, that shirt's a little too small, dog.
I've I haven't found a Star Wars shirt that I've really just been wanting to go out of my way to buy, but I have a Star Wars wallpaper on my phone that I'm like, if this was a poster, I would immediately buy it. And it's like, I don't even know. I wish I could show it, but it's not going to serve any justice. I just think Darth Vader looks awesome.
You can get your own posters printed, right?
Oh yeah, of course you can. I could do this if I wanted. I'm just lazy.
Oh.
It's like dark fantasy. Cool. It's really Darth Vader looks awesome in that. I'm so sorry, guys. I could have just pulled that up on the I could just
you could have just shared your screen or
done. I could have done anything, but this is cul-de-sac trash. We're just trash, okay? And so is the editor. Yeah. So I don't know, but well, I remember what I was gonna say. I'm sorry. I was bringing this up because you mentioned Call of Duty, and I feel like Dan Harmon, where I'm just like going faster than, and my mouth is going faster than my brain. No one is Dan Harmon. What I mean? No, I'm just saying like.
Also, you're not stammering enough to be Dan Harmon.
I know. I'm saying I'm getting close.
You're not.
I feel like I'm gonna get close to it. But I was gonna say I saw they released a poster and release date for Modern Warfare 2. Obviously, I've been over this with everyone. I'm dipping out of Call of Duty after Modern Warfare, but it's Modern Warfare 2.
Okay,
like, here's my problem. Bring Terminal back?
I'm a little bit with you. I'm kind of getting a little tired of Call of Duty. Though there's that fun part of it. Like even recently, you guys were playing Black Ops 2, and I was like, oh, I'd love to go back and grind for skins on the guns and stuff, and that'd be just kind of a fun thing to do. But I didn't want to download. I've said it many times. I didn't want to download 200 gigabytes. That's why I still haven't finished the Modern Warfare campaign, because I can't play it anymore because I have to reinstall it on my computer.
And it's 1,000 gigabytes.
Secondly, I was kind of leaning more toward, I was like, okay, I'll just play Battlefront. Then Battlefront moved to Battlefront 1 and Battlefront World War 2 or whatever it was called. Battlefront, what was it? What was the World War 2 one called? Battlefront 5. V.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah. And I was like, I liked Battlefront 1, but I don't really feel like doing those multiplayer. I kind of just wanted to do, maybe I'd play Battlefront 1 but I definitely don't want to play that one. So I'll just wait for the new one. The new one finally came out. Total trash. Nobody likes it. So I definitely have place in my heart for a shooter to just play casually. But I'm not sure if I want to go crawling back to Call of Duty or if I just want to keep waiting for that hopefully next good battlefield. Did I say Battlefront a bunch of times? I meant
you
Battlefield
probably
every
did.
Time.
Yeah,
I think I've said it exclusively.
I do that too.
Battlefield.
Yeah, dude, it's really disappointing. This latest Battlefield was kind of like was supposed to be like the prodigal. God, that word
apparently they've been hinting at it since like
son.
Battlefield 3 too.
Yeah, it was supposed to just be like the one, in my opinion, like from the trailers and everything, and then it flopped. So
it's a direct sequel to like their most popular one too, Battlefield 1942.
Yeah.
So it's Battlefield 2042.
Yeah.
And I don't know I don't know what's wrong with it. I haven't played it yet. I just know I've seen enough people that are unhappy with it. Like it's got the worst reviews I've ever seen on a game on Steam ever.
Oh yeah. Immediately.
Everywhere. People are just it's really buggy, I've heard. It's really slow, I've heard. The combat's lazy. Like the gun it's not good. The sound is bad. Graphics bad. Like I think just across the board, it just wasn't in the oven enough time, and it wasn't really the best idea. It worked completely out. It just kind of seems like a cash grab.
Did you? I was gonna ask. Did you play the beta of it? Because I played it. It was free for a weekend, or maybe it wasn't a beta. Excuse me. It was a free, just a free weekend, I guess. I played it, and it was very different. The gameplay was so different to me from like how I remember it, but the graphics were really good. I was like, I could get used to it, but like I'm just gonna play Battlefield 4. Like that's the game I will go back to. It came out in 2013 and I'm still playing it to this day, basically.
I want a new Battlefield 4. I want Battlefield 4 too.
But let's just crawl back to it. It wants you. It wants all of us. It just brings us back in.
It's still fun to play. It still looks good. It still sounds good, so whatever. No, I didn't play the beta for 2042. I think I remember what was out, and I think I was like, I'd like to do that. And then obviously I was in school, and I may have talked to you while you were playing it. I don't think so, though. I think the only beta I remember you playing was one of the Battlefronts. I want to say Battlefront 2's beta. I think I remember you playing that. Well, we played that. What am I talking about?
We played both of them, of both Battlefronts.
Yeah, and made videos on both of them.
Yep, we did, back on the old channel, yeah.
Yeah.
Though, it was, I don't know.
So no, I didn't play the beta. I've been completely in the dark about it. I just was like, okay, cool, it's release date, and then immediately all red, everything red, 1 thumbs down, 1 out of 5,
But
sad.
What is it about a new shooter such as Call of Duty coming out? And I'll swear off Call of Duty off every year. Obviously, I didn't play Cold War or anything, but I stand by the Call of Duties I do choose to play. But it seems like every time they announce one, I get like, oh, okay. And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I need to stop. But it's just so much fun when you get a party together and play it.
Well, there's still like somebody over at one. I don't remember what developer was the one. Was it Sledgehammer? Who did the most recent Modern Warfare remake?
I guess that was Infinity Ward.
Infinity Ward?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember. Whoever is over there, they still have a lot of love for the franchise. It's not just a paycheck for them, and they're not in. And maybe they are in, developer crunch or whatever it's called. I forget. But they have enough love for the game. They still keep putting in new ideas and new development and wanting to make things better and better and better. And it really comes across. And I think that's what really comes across to people as gamers a lot of times. To use that simple word for a minute. Like, you can tell when there's care and love put into something. And sometimes things are a business and things go by the wayside. There may be a bug here, didn't have enough development for that. That's why you have a one-day patch, whatever. But you can tell when something's made just because it's supposed to be made, it's supposed to make money. And you can tell when something's made, maybe that's its intent, but somebody there cares and works on detail. Specifically, I refer to what they call the Nintendo polish. That's who coined it first, the Nintendo polish. It's when the game has even above, detail that doesn't matter. Only a few people are going to see it all because they're going to, take the time to look for it.
Yeah.
Sound or physics engine stuff or just slight animations, Easter eggs. And that comes across in those games to me. And the most recent, I really liked the most recent Modern Warfare.
It was very good.
A lot.
I enjoyed it a lot, too.
I loved what they did with it. I love the gritty, even they finally saw, they recognized that the grittiness was one of the things that brought people to it, so they went even harder on that side.
Mm-hmm.
Thought that was great. So I'm excited.
Were very
I'm definitely excited for Modern Warfare 2, and I definitely can't just call it off. I'm not into Warzone. I don't want Warzone 2. I don't like that they made it free to play. I don't care about Battle Royale at all. It makes me worry about the future of gaming a little bit, because once team battles and big battles were a thing, that was everybody made a version of that, and then some games single players got scrapped to take care of that stuff, and now the Battle Royale system is the one that everybody's leaning towards. So
yeah, I'm more of a multiplayer guy personally too, as you are. I don't know what it is. I don't dislike the concept of Warzone. I enjoyed it for a while, but now it's I don't know. It's not for me.
For me, it's when I play just a quick 8-on-8 or 16-on-16 battle or whatever, it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then I get rewards, and then I can go on to do another one, and it's just that quick repetitive play, and
it's the endorphins
really
in your
easily,
head,
and you keep playing, yeah. But this is a long trek of a whole bunch of people trying to survive, and you're fighting it out, and maybe you win and maybe you don't, but it's just, there's so much more time in between everything that while it's anxiety-inducing and tense, I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Waiting around. I don't enjoy waiting to get shot at. I don't enjoy getting ambushed and stuff that happens I'm playing a game right now, Sea of Thieves, and its whole model is pirates, and they will not allow you to play where you cannot get attacked by other players because that would ruin the game. And so I'll just be playing basically single player stuff because there's a kind of a single player in it, but you're just always online. And I'm doing those quests, and I'll turn around and somebody's sinking my ship or lighting me on fire or stabbing me in the back. And it's that concept where I'm doing one thing and I always have to look over my shoulder for another thing that's annoying to me. That's one of my least favorite things. And then it's also the fact that you do this whole trek, maybe play for an hour, maybe an hour and a half, whatever. Well, okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit. I know they don't actually take that long, but a long time.
Sure.
And then you get to the end and you win. Maybe you win. What do? You just do it again.
Yeah.
And it's not nearly as quick and that response. It's not as fast for me. And I don't, and I'm so already you probably had to play 10 games before you got to win in the first place.
Oh,
that's
I don't know.
A little demoralizing, and it's just I'm into it.
Well, I mean, I don't play enough games as it is, and when it comes to that, the patience part, I'm always against people doing I don't even know how to put this in words, doing things quickly, just getting quick endorphins, not really soaking in a movie or a show or something and just going on that trek. But for example, I'll watch a show and go all the way even if it's slow, like Sopranos, for example. It's it takes its time with it, but for games, for some reason, it's got to be quick for me. I don't know what it is. I could watch a 2-hour YouTube video and just be fine, but games, I don't know.
I don't feel that way about every game. I love a single player game that takes its time. Something most recently that I can think of that's something like that. I've still not played it through, but I did play the demo. Was it Detroit Beyond Human?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's the epitome of one of the slow games. It's a lot of dialogue to one build up of climactic part for a lot of different scenes. But these shooters, specifically a multiplayer game, is something that I'd like, that I want that quick payoff. You know, I'm not trying to, not to mention nowadays, because I've been told you I've been watching Smosh Game stuff from 2012, and I'm just seeing their caliber as gamers. And I think on average, because of how popular esports are, and because of how popular just like the whole genre is, and because of Fortnite blowing up the way it did, the majority of people that play video games are better at them. And the majority of those people grind them way harder than I think ever before, besides like PC players did.
Yeah.
So now it seems like the skill level is so different. If you're out for a month, even from start day, like you don't get the game one hour release, you're already behind, and you got it, and like you feel it. You feel those people that have played hours and hours and hours more than you, and they just you just can't keep up.
No, I know. I had to learn that. I learned that the past couple years.
Overwatch. Oh my gosh.
Overwatch taught us well, didn't it? But quickly, just to interject, I agree with your point. If it's thinking about Detroit Become Human, I did play that and was engaged, and I'm thinking, I guess it is to do with the story. If it's the story, I'll stay captivated with it. Like, I guess it just depends on the game. So I kind of retract that statement a little bit.
I understood what you were saying, though.
I wanted to say, though, just before I've lost it, I was looking it up on my phone, but when you're talking about games being like developers taking care and making games and that are actually good and stuff like that.
To the level it can. Like, I don't want to be a jerk that's like, oh, they need to always be perfect. I understand it's a business.
Well, I just want to shout out indie games.
There are some.
I've noticed a lot more in the past several years. I watched the YouTube channel Kind of Funny, which I get my game news from. And when they're watching these big expos and stuff, and they're like highlighting indie games, I'm like, whoa, like this actually looks really cool. Wes was even like taking notes of some indie games coming out, and like, everyone just highlighting AAA games all the time and saying there's nothing coming out. It's like, no, there's indie stuff coming out all the time. Kotaku even tweeted this out. They said, after years of hype, the Xbox Game Pass burnout is here. And on the picture of what their tweet was, I'm not going to show it, it's not important, but it's just a bunch of AAA titles. Xbox Game Pass retorted saying, tell me you limit yourself to only AAA games without telling me you limit yourself to only AAA games.
Yeah. I knew one of them was taking a bite at something. Well, they both did. Clearly, it was social media beef.
Which I guess PlayStation, just on the topic of Game Pass, I think PlayStation's adopting that model from what I heard. Like, I'm not in the loop.
PSN kind of already did that. They didn't do it exactly the same, but they've had PlayStation, what it's called already. They have so many names. It's like you can get a pass, and then you can play all their old games from like the PS1, PS2, PS3, digital versions of them. And now, some of the more modern ones. I don't think it works exactly like Game Pass, where like you have even like new games, you have a select set of those you can play. I think you just get the ability like for deals and to buy some games that otherwise wouldn't be released that way, that quickly. I know you get early access, so they did some of that, but they've been doing that now for like a few years, even before Game Pass did.
Yeah, and I appreciate PC having Game Pass and all that stuff too. Like, God,
I don't use it.
I don't use it either, but like I'm glad for people who do.
I like the idea. I'm for convenience. I understand it's a streaming society we live in now. That's how Netflix exists. That's how it pushed Blockbuster out. Blockbuster pushed out, mom and pop shops. That's how the business model goes. Hear me, as someone especially who owns, like 80 games on Steam or something. It's probably more. I'm scared of the whole digital key thing. Like, I don't have a physical something to show I own something. There's no deed. There's no key. There's no hard copy. So the second those servers go offline, or the second there's a mistake, or the second I can't pay anymore of whatever they start asking for, if they do in the 1984 post-apocalyptic society, I lose everything.
Yeah.
Until I'm willing to pay for it again. And that subscription model scares me because you can no longer just buy a game. You're no longer, marketing a game. They still will. But they want you to be a subscriber, and they want you to pay that fee, and they want to nickel and dime you, constantly, and that's everything's model nowadays, because it works. People pay that stuff, and just ask yourself how many different streaming services for different shows have you had within the past 2 months?
10 million.
You're bouncing back and forth. You're like, I want to watch that show. I'll get rid of this one. Well, I'll keep that one. It has that show. Like, they've got the model worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
And it scares me that that's kind of what games are leaning towards. Because I still definitely am for, like, if it was up to me, honestly, I wish I owned all the PC games I owned on, like, the big boxes you see, like they used to everywhere. with like the install disk. That wouldn't be convenient. It would load super slowly, and I'd lose all my data because Steam's cloud backup wouldn't work, which is why Steam's amazing. But I do kind of wish I had just a library full of those.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I just when I go to someone's house, just for example, like I'll see all the games of like PlayStation 4 titles and just physical media. I'm like, man, I miss the days of running in GameStop, picking out something. Maybe it was used. You got it there.
You mean those?
Yeah. Oh, I got a collection somewhere.
Super Nintendo. I got Wii. I got Xbox. I got PlayStation.
Yeah.
They're all in. All the ones I own that are left are in there.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm still doing it with movies, so I'm still 1 foot in the water, right? Shoot, this is a good segue into Star Wars, kind of, but what we were talking about. So, my cousin, he texted me, I guess to a TikTok where this dude was like, "Hey, if you have Battlefront 2 2005 on Xbox, on your Xbox One, they just released DLC for it." What? Kit Fisto and Asajj Ventress, which I don't know if this is true. This could be a mod for all I know, but he said it was on Xbox only, not on Steam. But if you wanted to do it on Steam, you just have to mod it because they just didn't do it for Steam.
I mean, do we have the mods in the Steam Workshop? I assume we probably would for that.
Easily.
The whole problem is that game. Well, then again, though, all those games that are that old, like from 2005 and before, I think the code and the Microsoft distributable or whatever the thing that comes up is about, like, I don't know what exactly. It's like X10 and X11 or whatever per year. I tried to mod Oblivion one time, but I couldn't use the Steam Workshop because I had to go all the way back like to old school modding and find like a source online and then make my own, and I wasn't able to do it fully. But I thought Battlefront 2 was in that same vein, where like there wasn't a Steam Workshop for it. Like you had to go back and go into the files yourself and implement them and mod it yourself. So is it like that, or and that's assuming there even is those mods.
I don't know. I just use Nexus.
Yeah, I tried Nexus.
Like Skyrim
it didn't,
and stuff.
It didn't work.
Oh, oops.
I tried to get graphics mod so that Oblivion would be less like old.
Yeah. I did Nexus for Dark Souls 3 and try to make it easier, and turns out I still suck at it. But yeah,
that's incredible news. I don't know the validity of it. I don't even know how to verify that.
Well, I think my cousin might try it out, and I'm gonna keep him, like, get him to update me if he does. I don't know.
Why would that happen?
Like, maybe a lot of people are playing it because they did bring it over to the store on the new Xboxes.
Just recently?
In the past, I'd say the past year, maybe even 2. Now it might be 2.
Because I know that there was a whole like system that was up. It was GameFly, Game something. What GameFly? No, GameFly's another like thing. Game something that kept the servers on PC up when pandemic went bankrupt. I'm sorry, I cannot think of words today. No, Studio. I can picture their face. They have the gas mask. They made.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. When they finally bankrupt, I think their server support went down. But there was a private third-party website company that like asked people to pay, and they kept it running for a while up until 2013. Because I remember when I got the game first time, it was like, if you want to play this, get this. And you go to that, it was like, sorry, we've been out of business recently, or we were asked to stop. We can no longer support it. So if there's a whole new revamping of somebody supporting the online format for Battlefront 2, that's amazing.
That would be great.
I mean, Battlefront 2.
Yeah, he asked me if I had like the original Xbox, because was Battlefront 2 on the original Xbox, or was it? Do you know?
Battlefront 2 was on PS2, but
I know it came out in
2005. But I don't think that when did the first Xbox? It was released like 2005, wasn't it?
I always get Xbox and Xbox 360. Their dates confused.
It would be like 2003 then?
Yeah, the first Xbox came out around then. Yeah.
I don't remember it. Maybe it was. I don't remember it being on the original Xbox.
Yeah, I don't know. He mentioned that. He asked if I had an original Xbox and played it on there.
Screw it. I'm Googling it. I have to know.
But I was like, no, I played it on PSP and then PlayStation 2. Which is backwards, I guess. Or
Battlefront
not backwards,
2?
Just
I didn't
weird.
think there was Battlefront 2 for the PSP.
Yeah, there was. And then there was another one,
there was also
which I don't remember the other one. Yeah, I guess that, I think that's
Rogue
what it
Squadrons.
was. Yeah, something like that.
No, that's the fighting game. Rebel something.
It's one of those, we're just off the top of our head. I'm probably spreading misinformation left and right anyway. But I remember playing on PSP, and then we got a PlayStation 2 from a pawn shop, and I played it on there. Then I moved to Steam. So I played it on just everything, but I never knew if it was on the original Xbox or not. I just feel like I've never seen
Yes,
anything about
it was on the original Xbox.
Yeah.
It was on PC. It was on PSP. It was on PlayStation 2, and it was on Xbox.
Well, there
no
you
Nintendo
go.
platform.
Yeah, he was like, was there even like I remember him asking if there was even like internet on that sucker, and you could even download
it's
original
back when
DLC and stuff.
Wi-Fi was like called WLAN or whatever, which is why every time on the PS2 screen I'd be like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
say.
older consoles and the internet, I've just never thought about or just did, because I remember when Xbox Live came out, or maybe I think it came out. I think I remember it when it first came out for 360, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Like I can download DLC, internet. Like I was a child then, so I just don't remember much.
My parents still had dial-up in 2006, 2005, 2008, whatever it was when I found it. I was 9 when I got my PlayStation. So all the way up until like 2009, 2010, pretty sure my parents still had dial-up internet.
That's metal.
For a while.
That's
and
awesome.
I definitely didn't know what a 56K modem was. And that was a huge thing for a lot of gaming in the early 2000s for internet.
Oh, I'm still bad with internet. Like I just don't bandwidth anything. I'm for some reason I'm bad with. I could do hardware and stuff, or maybe it's software. I don't know. Fuck. I'm just like I'm good with some stuff, and then I'm terrible with other stuff when it comes to anything.
I haven't bothered studying it, even though I've taken like classes and stuff that have described it a little bit to me. I haven't bothered like actually learning and studying, which makes me feel like a total poser when I talk about it. But I know enough to like troubleshoot and work through it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know what I'm kind of talking about in terms of speeds and downloads and what they do. And I know a little bit, not a lot, but I know a little bit more these days. But I definitely didn't know anything then. Definitely didn't know anything then.
Yeah, I just knew how to plug something
in an outlet. I
knew how to
put together the wires or plug it in, not literally.
Especially when it's color coded, like especially when your TV and the component cables are color coded.
Yeah. Stupid
and then somehow I'm still stupid enough to like mess that up somehow.
To be fair though, even though I was playing in 2008, 2009 as a kid, actually, I guess I probably plugged in our Super Nintendo the first time when I was probably 6. It had an old school literal antenna connection. A screw-on, like, connect to the TV's antenna slot, connect to the Super Nintendo spot. So I learned plugins, at a young age.
Yeah, we had one of those for sure. We threw away our CRTV like a year and a half ago. And Wes is like, I wish we had one, or I wish we had it back. And then he went out and bought his own to play his retro.
Yeah, it's good to keep a CRT.
Yeah.
Cathode ray tube TV.
Jeremy Johns, the YouTube movie reviewer, for anyone who doesn't know, he has like a whole room dedicated to that, and he still has all his VHS, his really small TV, and he'll put on like Terminator 2 and watch it there. I'm like, I'm doing that when I get enough space.
I will never forget the sound and the static feeling after turning off one of those TVs and just watch, because I would obviously be very, very close to it, watching my arm hair like stand up.
Yeah. Oh, did you ever get your VHSs like fucked up in your why, dude? I'm having a brain fart. VCR. Thank you. I was about to say DVR.
I was actually about to mention the fact I had a VCR. No, that was my way of like watching. Like I had a VCR my parents gave me in my room, and I watched like Air Bud 2 over and over. I guess it was 2. Yeah, it was the football one. A lot. I watched a lot of those. Indiana Jones. I watched all sorts of. I don't even remember. I had Dennis the Menace on VHS. That was how I watched stuff. And no, I didn't ever have a screw up on either the VCR or the VHS or the VHS. That's the tape. I almost forgot what that was called. No, I never. Like I had to manually rewind one time because I don't remember what was wrong with it, but it wasn't
with the pencil.
Well, no, because you'd have to use a pencil for a cassette tape. These had these holes.
Or cassette tape. Yeah.
So I just took my 2 fingers because they were small enough and the grooves were there, and just kind of like worked it back.
Well, I brought Scooby-Doo Meets Batman on VHS to kindergarten.
Yep.
And it fucked up, and I said, y'all sabotaged me because you didn't want to watch it, and I know that for a fact.
I still have Scooby-Doo Meets Batman on VHS somewhere.
I have it on DVD now.
Yeah, I definitely watched that. Oh,
I've upgraded.
Well,
yeah.
Upgrade, yeah.
Yeah.
No, watch that one. The school broke your VHS, huh? Because they had crappy old
Did I not get
85
compensation?
VHS players.
Nope.
No.
They didn't compensate? They just said, sorry, we're watching a better movie.
What? So did it like crack the VHS, or did it just mess up the tape?
I guess the tape, all the tape is just, you know how it is when it just falls
ate
out.
It, and it
ate it.
Man. Maybe it was just his time. Maybe it'd been playing.
No, they just curb stomped it into a million pieces.
Just like, get in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, I don't know. Yeah, that's
about the level of understanding that a lot of the teachers had for stuff.
Yep, I'm still.
You ever watch one trying to work a projector that they own and they don't own, but they work with like for 5-10 years at a time, and they still can't turn it on consistently?
No, yeah, I I'm just like they're like try to fix it, and I'm like I can't.
This is the room you've had for the past how many years? 5 years. This is the same lesson you've done now for how many years? Same amount. This is your projector. Yes. Yeah. Here's the remote. I don't know what to do with this. Okay.
Well, that was my mom for a while about just like figuring out how to change the different inputs and just put on like the cable and stuff. And I'm just like,
yeah.
Let's learn it together. She's finally learned it though. So
I was the one that got my parents into like learning finally how to stream stuff. And it still took me a while because it's a smart TV. So if it wasn't like from a click and then they could see the app, they weren't really understanding the whole concept of taking your phone, pushing a button, and having it stream to the Chromecast I bought and put in the TV on the, And so they were like, it's not working. I don't understand. Why can't I watch Hulu today? And I'd be like, what's wrong with your phone? You're like, my phone. I'm not using my phone. I'm like, why aren't you streaming from your phone?
I had my Fire Stick remote get lost recently for like the first time in forever. And I had to use my phone and that shit was laggy. I need to get a new Fire Stick or an Apple TV, really. Yeah. Just something better. Yeah. And so I had to use my phone and it was so slow.
What are those called? That's not a Stream Deck. What's that considered? The Stream Deck's the thing you push all the buttons.
Oh yeah. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
What are those called? Where it's like a hub of all the different, like is a virtual smart TV or a virtual app store.
I don't know.
The Fire Stick and the Apple TV. Do they have a name?
Oh, just dude, I can't stop having brain farts on technology today. Like everything. I
don't know if I ever learned their name fully.
No, just a streaming device. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway.
I probably.
It seems like Stream Deck would kind of work better for their name than the actual thing.
I know I know I'll be editing this and be like, box. I obviously knew there was a proper name for it, but yeah, no, I don't know.
We can call it a streaming box. Stream everything to the box. There we go.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh God. Anyways, guys, we need to discuss real quick on the latter half of this podcast. Finally get back into it. Obi-Wan. I just wanna touch base on it because it's coming out. It's almost here, guys. We're seeing Ewan Christensen. We're watching Ewan Christensen and Hayden McGregor back.
No. That's the love child you wish existed.
Oh, God. You've been reading my fan fiction. Yes. We're about to see this shit. Have you seen the fucking picture of Hayden swinging the lightsaber with a cape? And there's been edits of them.
You described it to me, but I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, he swings it. He has Anakin's lightsaber hilt, which is crazy. And he has a cape.
Yeah, that's what you. Yeah.
And they've been doing memes where they've been putting a little child in front of him, and he's like, "Oh, he's back, killing younglings." But I'm like, "Woo! If he's holding Anakin's blade, that's gonna be juicy."
I'm gonna look it up right now so you can see my immediate reactions. Also, I'm sorry for all
we're watching epic reaction of Jacob.
Christian Obi-Wan promotional art.
Oh, well, you might find it googling that.
Promotion.
Dude, the trailer the poster for it, the newer one.
Nope, I just got a lot of stuff from Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, just type in Hayden Christensen behind the scenes.
Show.
Maybe?
I just have Hayden Christensen Obi-Wan.
Oh, you're good.
Nope, that's a fan edit. That's like just them hanging out at Disney World.
Ooh.
Can you send it to me?
I got you. This is Jacob has turned 50 years old and forgot how to work Google. So just bear with him, guys.
Where am I? Who are you?
You're not even in Google. You're just on Steam. You're just searching on Steam.
I'm on Microsoft Word. And I've typed Google at the top and I've hit enter 7 times.
And it just goes to the next page. Good dog.
It's not working.
Okay, this is what I'm typing in. Hayden Christensen swinging lightsaber. Let's hope something pops up.
Well, I just figured that'd bring up all the memes. That's why I didn't want to.
Nothing.
You sure this exists? It wasn't just a fever dream?
It does exist. It's not a fever dream. I saw it on Twitter. Maybe I should just look on Twitter. But then again, Twitter
more
takes a
Revenge
while
of the
to find.
Sith stuff. I don't see it anywhere.
Oh my God. What happened? Did they just cancel Obi-Wan? Is the show canceled?
They're just going to act like it never was happening. Like, what show? What are you talking about? Like the Obi-Wan show but no. There was never a show. And then the whole world would just be like, it's one of those Berenstain Bears moments.
What is that? What's a Berenstain Bear moment? Found it. It wasn't that hard to find. I'm stupid.
Okay, what do I need to type?
No, I'll just send it to you on your phone.
All right. Phone.
Okay, it's just a behind. It's not anything spectacular. It's just kind of cool though, and everyone's been talking about it.
What?
Lately.
Okay, neat. Okay, so it's the choreography training, like the sword.
Yeah,
neat.
It's choreography training. Yep.
I guess you would want to wear a cape so you'd know what it's like to swing with one.
Fighting.
When you were talking about the fact he's holding Anakin's hilt, I thought it was like a real thing in the show or something, which is why everyone was upset. But he's just like holding a prop. What's the big deal?
Oh, I feel like there was another picture where you actually saw it better, or maybe I'm crazy. I'm probably crazy, but I thought there was a.
Well, either way, the question still stands. They're just training. What does it matter what he's holding?
No, I guess I don't know.
It's just the meme was talking about.
I mean, I don't know
because
I don't know how. I'm not.
They didn't get the fan blowing, so it's all locked.
Yeah, I'm not a stunt coordinator or fight choreography expert. But maybe it has something to do with the hilt. I don't know. Apparently, Ewan McGregor did pick out his lightsaber for episode 1. He's like, I'll pick that one. So it's like they did really get to pick them all. It seems like
they all cool. Did that, right?
Yeah,
except maybe Mark Hamill.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I just know that
he just took what the prop director
Samuel L. Jackson did, of course, and then got bamf on it, or
something like that.
Was it Badass? I think it was Badass Motherfucker. Yeah,
probably was.
It was whatever was in Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction. Yeah. That's my Badass Motherfucker. Yeah.
So yeah, we're getting freaking. There's so much that could. Oh! I remember what I was gonna say. Sorry, you see, my brain is going 30,000 miles. I am going to beat. I played a little bit Sunday. I'm going to beat Fallen Order Friday before the show comes out. It's going to be like my celebration thing. I'm going to try to get done with some of this work that I got to do, and then spend some of Friday doing that.
That is exciting to me.
Because
I actually went back, so I thought I collected every last collectible in the game. I thought, I think maybe they added like a DLC for BB-8 stuff, or BB-8. What's your robot? KL-99, something like that. No. What's the robot in Fallen Order?
BD-1?
Thank you.
I think that's it.
Don't know what happened. Yeah, it's definitely BD-1.
Big Dick 1.
So there's like these skill challenges. They may have been always in the game. I didn't notice, but you have to go and do like combat challenges to get the unlocks for him. And they're really difficult. But I thought I had 100% of the game because I did. I collected everything that was collectible in like the explorable world. Right?
Yeah.
And so I went back. I was like, I'll try these. And I'm still working on the first 1 out of 10.
I had to stop. Difficult. I was doing that for a while. I got lost in Kashyyyk. I said, I don't know where I am. And I was like, Wes, get me out of here. And so I gave the controller and he got me a shortcut out. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to beat the story and call it there. It's too much for me. So that's where I stand right now.
Yeah, I got all those ponchos.
Yeah, I've gotten some more, but I got.
They're not that great. There's like one that you're like, oh, that's interesting, and the rest are like, oh, they're all kind of like serapes, whatever.
Yeah, I'm rocking a red one, but it's clean. Yeah. It looks nice, so I'm using that. But yeah, I'm gonna beat that before Obi-Wan and get really pumped for it. I thought I was gonna watch more Star Wars movies.
It seems like Rebels, where Obi-Wan and Darth Maul have it is Rebels, right? Where Obi-Wan and Maul have their duel. That seems like the immediate predecessor to
by the way, spoilers by the way for every Star Wars related thing probably from here on, just in case.
Oh yeah,
just I'm letting you know there's gonna be Star Wars spoilers for about everything, just in case, so you've been warned. But yes, what were you saying? Sorry. Star Wars Rebels, their fight, the Obi-Wan and Maul fight.
Just that would be the immediate, that'd be the place to leave off to be prepped for the new show.
Yes. Oh, apparently the director has compared this, and I told you this. She's compared it to Joker and Logan, which maybe the tone is what she's talking
that's
about.
What you said.
That's not important. But
I'm taking into the fact that those are both following one singular character that have a lot of different kinds of development.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see that. That's a good idea. Yeah. And I'm glad that
and they look less at the actual show.
Yeah, I'm glad there's one director working on this. At least it's going to be a pretty consistent vision.
That's good.
And Ewan, I believe Ewan, I saw this on Star Wars Theory's channel. I think he said it was either him or Hayden, or maybe it was both of them. Said it really just feels like a movie, just a drawn out movie. Which
well, that's
probably how it feels with working under one director.
Yeah, some of the best shows start like that. Speaking of a one director, that kind of feels like a movie, and maybe it was intended to be. Sopranos started off that way. It was David Chase's opportunity to make a mob-related film, and he's like, well, I'm going to make it like I would the movie. And if it's a show and it's one episode, it'll be one episode, and that way it'll have an ending that I'd be satisfied with. But if it's not, I can keep continuing the story. And so each one was developed almost like you would a movie.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so, like, fluid and everything is satisfying. There's always, like, a key high point and, like, a finishing point,
Yeah.
Just like any show, but specific, yeah. So I think that's a good thing. I think that
and
probably means it's very promising.
Event miniseries, so there's 6 episodes.
Oh, that's it? Really?
It's short, and there's 2 dropping Friday, so.
That makes me a little sadder, but that could also be a good thing because lately Disney's been letting things just kind of linger. So a miniseries may be refreshing.
Yeah, so.
But then my worry is if it's amazing. If it's amazing.
I do hope it is.
Obviously. We don't get to see Ewan McGregor or Hayden Christensen anymore.
I hope it's amazing for the fact of them getting their, retribution or their comeback, well-deserved comeback, and being in something actually good. I mean, I'm saying the prequels weren't bad. I'm just saying, you know. I love the prequels, but so I'm hoping that, and obviously I hope they don't get attacked for anything.
I don't think they're going to be hated nearly as much as they used to be after this past 5 years.
Yeah. If anything, it'll be the newer
plus now,
characters, but I hope still for them, no.
I bet it's weird. Most of the people that didn't have as much of a problem with them were kids when they came out, and I bet most of the people that aren't going to have a problem with these are going to be kids.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to be the 35-year-olds that are like, how could you like those movies?
That's us for the sequels. That's me for like even
Boba
Fett,
stuff. It's like
fuck.
No,
I'm glad that I can like stuff like Rogue One, Mandalorian, like and I'm glad I can
stay away from the things I cherish. Make your own stories. Yeah. I'm fine with whatever you want to make with your own stories. There was 10,000 novels of Star Wars Legends that brought out extended stories from people and other ideas. What did you do? You took the things we liked and you just was like, I'm going to do what I want with them. I
brought this up to Wes.
Oops, did I drop that there? Well, my bad.
You speaking of the extended stories, extended the legends, I guess is what they're called now.
No, I canonized stuff.
Heir to the Empire, which came out, I think in the 90s. Don't quote me on that. I've read like a quarter of that book, and it feels just like an incredible continuation. The tone doesn't feel too kiddie, but not, it's if anything, it's honestly more. It's more of an advanced reading level, which inherently makes it, I guess,
that's what kind of, I was trying to read them in elementary school, and every time I pick one up, I couldn't keep up.
Well, it's hard for me to visualize a lot of the shit that they're talking about, but I when compared to that in the Book of Boba Fett, I'm like, the Book of Boba Fett feels like a children in a playground. Like I've probably said it too much.
This is the script that got picked up?
You keep talking for a second.
Okay. I thought you were going to say earlier, by the way, that you were going to say that you'd finally be happy to see Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen get the notoriety and the respect you think they deserve, even with today's viewers. Because I'm sure they are aware of them the same way we were aware of Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Han Solo as kids. But it wasn't until later that we really understood like and respected what they were, where they came from, what they pioneered. Yeah. So I feel like it's in the same way they're going to see these actors and see their characters, at least hopefully both of them, their characters. In a new light, in a new age with new resolution, and it'll be in this Star Wars universe, this Disney Star Wars universe that's just kind of expanding, ever expanding. So I think that'll be good to see their names on everybody's tongue again.
Yeah,
which it already is kind of, but even for younger viewers,
For sure. God damn it. Every time I try talking, the fucking garage door is moving. You just say something. Fill up the void for a second.
Well, for me, just then, at least when you try to, occasionally now the mic and X is breaking up. So I may just be like looking dumb for a little bit because you'll talk and then it'll just be like,
no.
And then I'll talk really fast and then it'll catch up.
Hey, I'm sorry about that, guys.
I'm just trying to look like I understand. I'm definitely not lost.
Yeah, you're good. Well, the reason I stopped talking the garage whenever I'm above it, and so it fucking shakes the floor and there's a lot of noise, and I don't know if it picks up on the mic, so.
I heard it the second time faintly. I did not hear it at all the first time.
Yeah, that one was loud for some reason, but I was going to say, after watching, it really put me in perspective what all the actors went through in the prequels when I watched the story behind Ahmed Best, who plays Jar Jar, and he came out and talked about his journey after that and his attempted suicide. And I follow him on social media now, and I'm like, I want to see him again because for one thing, I just love the dude after seeing so much stuff about him. But you know what? I don't dislike Jar Jar. I'll say it.
I dislike the way they used him. I don't dislike the character. He has point. Like, for example, they used him in Star Wars: The Clone Wars. And it was good. The way they used him, he was intentionally the clown in places where there was it was appropriate to have a clown. The problem was he kept interrupting this epic adventure.
Oh yeah, no,
it's not so much people, and then it's the timing of it. I could get into it, but I'm not going to. Yeah, I every time I've heard that, I've been sad about that. And like you probably, at least at the beginning, you probably didn't put Jar Jar Binks on your resume. Like, that didn't go on your film trip, and you just kind of hope people didn't associate your name with it. I guess that would be rough. And honestly, it's a very iconic Star Wars character because it's fun to hate on somebody too a little bit, because at least that was so out of place. It was like entertaining, whereas something like, I'm not saying I thought Adam Driver did a bad job as Kylo Ren at all. Just there were points where I was like, I don't know, he's just a guy.
Yeah.
Like, he acted well. I mean, maybe I'm overstepping a little bit. I'm not trying to insult him or his performance or his character at all. I'm not saying they were good, but especially, like, I just remember a little bit in there's so many subtitles. What was the first 2015 Star Wars called? The Force Unleashed is what I want to call it. Force Awakens. Thank you. I just remember, like, the scene where he's angry and talking to Vader's helmet or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's when he takes off the helmet for the first time, and instead of there being a reason for wearing the helmet, aside from his deeper emotional reasons, like, he's just a guy underneath.
Yeah.
And so that took me out of the moment a little bit, almost.
It did at first. I kind of was like, I prefer him helmetless, I guess. It is a little bit different, because I try to save any critiques on the sequels only because I just don't have the energy to talk about it, and I don't even really have coherent thoughts about it. But Adam Driver, man. I mean, I love him as an actor, but the character was one of my favorite parts about the sequels. But I just felt I don't know.
I liked a lot of it. He seemed a little like emotional at times, but then seeing kind of the progression a little bit more, I saw where that came from. So at least it was ready. Let me revise my statement a little bit. Let me not look at a specific character. Let me say this: Jar Jar Binks was entertaining, whereas something like The Last Jedi is an overall mediocre film.
Yeah. The only thing I could say, I've only seen Last Jedi once, and I just want to say, I would be down to watch it again. I don't really care about the sequels necessarily, but if you like them, hey, I'm really happy for you, genuinely. Like, I don't ever want to shit on what you like, but I'm just not a huge fan of it. But I will say, the thing I like
was good
about The Last Jedi compared to the other two films is at least it took risks. I will take that over Rise of Skywalker personally.
But it stepped over the already starting story.
Well, there's things that they screwed up.
They changed that stuff, and they just screwed up stuff. It looked pretty, but I hated the story. I did not like the way the characters were used in that one. I didn't like how quickly they just got rid of Snoke. Don't even get me started on Superman Carrie Fisher. And freaking, just all the little
we don't need it. We just, it is 2022.
Look, my point was,
shitting on the sequels is so out of, it's so
I was
so
just
old
saying,
at this point.
Binks was entertainingly, but like, looking back, if I go back and I watch Phantom Menace, like, I'm a little irked by some scenes with Jar Jar, but for the most part, I like him as a character, and I find him entertaining in his stupidity, because I kind of know how it's used, and like, I know some of the deeper lore where the idea that he's Darth Jar Jar is actually stupid, and that's all it makes me, I enjoy it in that sense. If I go back and watch Last Jedi as my particular perspective on it, I still don't have a good time with it. I can see it in my head. They made decisions. Mostly it's the decisions that upset me and take me out of the moment. I'm like, I can't believe you did that to my characters. I can't believe you made that happen. I can't believe you stepped over what they were starting in the previous film. It takes me completely out of the film. Enjoy it anymore.
I'm not defending the decisions that were made in the story or anything. Like I said, I only saw it once, so I'm
still mad at what happened to Luke.
5 years ago, basically, it's
still
been like
mad.
About 5 years.
They treated him as I don't like what happened to Luke.
Oh no,
it's like a massacre.
I can't defend it or anything.
He's like a hobo.
I've seen so many podcasts and just people talking about the sequels, and the comment sections are just.
I'm sure it's a beaten dead horse and rug.
Yeah,
but
it's okay though.
Dead horse shaped rug.
We need to be positive. It's Obi-Wan.
Right.
Watch it suck. No, I'm just kidding.
What if it does? What if it is the Book of Boba Fett of shows?
If it sucks, I give up. I actually give up.
Just no more Star Wars.
Because
Like,
if Book of
sorry,
Boba Fett was incredible,
trash
following
of my
after,
love.
The Mandalorian and Clone Wars Season 7, then I would go in not having any trepidations, but I do, unfortunately,
Yeah.
because I just wasn't, Book of Boba Fett let me down outside of 2 episodes that were fantastic. But
Plus, just like we
see.
saw, just kind of connecting it. I know we're trying to distance ourselves, but it does actually remind me of it. The same way it's like these are our beloved characters who we've gotten, even from extended universe stuff, video games and books. We have an idea what their characters are, what their arcs were, who they are as people. And Obi-Wan specifically continues into old school stuff and new stuff alike. If they screw with any of that, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I know. Unless you build upon it in a great way like Clone Wars has and stuff like that.
Make decisions that make sense.
I would say Rogue One even
characters.
built up, made A New Hope better because of the I really enjoyed the Death Star having the being sabotaged like it was by Galen Erso.
Oh,
Like, that was
like
great.
going into that. Yeah, I really liked Rogue One a lot. And I like that they had the cojones to be okay with everyone ending the way they did.
Yeah.
I was like,
dude.
that's a Disney film. I just watched somebody cry about Spider-Man dying in Infinity War. I mean, not Infinity War. No, it was Infinity War.
Yeah.
Because it was Infinity War in Endgame.
When
yeah.
he faded.
So I watched a little kid left the theater was like, they killed Spider-Man. So I just watched that or I guess that came later. But the point is, I'm remembered of both of them. So Disney was okay making children do that. And we're still going to put out movies that have, a little harder hitting stuff. I was happy about that.
Underrated villain. I really enjoyed Krennic. I liked him being kind of like I liked him being shat on basically by Tarkin and all that stuff.
Yes.
Like, it's mine. Be like, nah, it ain't
Yeah,
yours.
that was good.
I'm gonna take credit for this one. No, I want to watch it again. I really do. I was gonna ask you though. Quick question.
I also love Donnie Yen.
Oh yes, of course, dude. That was I was so happy to see him. But my question, what is one thing from the original trilogy, or maybe the biggest thing that you're like, man, I wish they would have changed that in the OT specifically?
Do revisions count? Because I'll say this. People used to, and I'll give maybe a better answer in a minute, but just as the immediate thing that came to mind, because I was literally thinking about this the other day. I'll give a full picture. Because we were talking about Battlefront 2 at the beginning, right? You know how in 2005's Battlefront 2, when you played Mos Eisley, that one song plays that's from Jabba's Palace, and it's like, ooh, tee, tee, da, 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 da. Yeah, that's from the 95 special edition. There was apparently another song that most fans think is way better that was used before that took place. And the thing is, there were so many changes that George Lucas did. Some of my first interactions with that stuff is the changes he made, so I never got to see the original. So the stuff I love, like that song, people aren't happy with, like, old school fans don't like. And I get that, I totally do. And I do see how the old one was better. Especially when you see the context of the show, and it's another one of those things where it's animation, and it's clownish, and it's stupid. But, so, that's some of the stuff I didn't like, I guess, if I had to say, changes that were made to it.
I was saying specifically about like the basic story.
The basic stuff, like I said, I'll give
I'll give an answer for the revision. One revision I can't stand. But you go ahead if you want.
It's going to take me a minute because, I mean, the more stuff changes, the more I hold on to those old stuff so tightly, right?
Yeah.
So I always liked Return of the Jedi.
Revenge of the Jedi.
Revenge of the Jedi. I always like Return of the Jedi.
I can hit you with one, though.
I'd change.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, because that's the hero's journey. It's like classic. I know it's been changed now. No, I don't like that. I was gonna say the way Boba Fett died, but I kind of like that still. It's stupid, but I kind of like that.
I don't know. That's actually that might be the thing I actually switched to change. Personally.
But like now there's lore because Star Wars fans are amazing. There's lore about that. So because he died stupidly, they said because of his Mandalorian armor, he lived for 50 years inside the pit of Carcoon.
No, of course,
and like that stuff, and then he's more of a badass. So there's still parts of that I like.
It was more, I didn't have a problem with him going obviously in there. I think it was just Han said like, "Oops, dink," and he's like, "Ah!"
Yeah,
like you
it was so unintentional. Yeah. It could have been like a full battle. That would have been better, but George is starting to like, I think we need those laughs.
For my
I'm gonna let me tell you tell me yours, and I'm gonna keep thinking, but I'm really struggling. I have one little thing, but I don't think it's really bad. I just think it's the thing I associate the least with Star Wars. So you say yours, I'm gonna keep thinking.
My special edition change I would immediately change is Darth Vader going like, no, when he picks up Emperor and throws him.
I've only seen it one time where that didn't happen. The same thing. It's like I didn't know it was silent.
Yeah. Oh, I have like the 2004, I think, DVDs with the original ones. Yeah. So I've seen them a little bit. Of course, I haven't seen Despecialized yet, but my cousin's seen it.
I've still yet to see Return of the Jedi theatrical release. I've seen the first theatrical. But I was watching with somebody who'd never seen Star Wars, and I was like, you know what? For your first time, we're going to watch the theatrical versions. And we did, and he loved them. And we just didn't get to the third one, so I hadn't watched it.
Return is the one he kind of fiddled with the most. Empire the least, thank God. But with the story, like there was two things I always kind of think I would switch. They're not huge things because Return is either my first or second favorite Star Wars movie, so obviously I love it. But if I was to change two of the story things, maybe, and I do love the Ewoks. There is like a thing that I enjoy about how dark it is in the Death Star. I'm talking about the tone of the story, and then kind of that playfulness ish. Of the Ewoks, but I just thought, man, if it was Kashyyyk and all the Wookiees, like I might have preferred the
Ewoks were supposed to be way more dark.
Yeah,
Ewoks are supposed to be cannibalistic.
Cannibals.
And they were supposed to, like, that's why they have the Stormtrooper helmets and they're playing the drums on them. It's not because it's cute and they found Stormtrooper helmets. No, it's because they ate them.
Nice.
So I wish maybe we could have saw more of that side than the fluffy little.
If they had little boom boxes with some Metallica playing, they just walk in playing some heavy metal shit. One other thing though, and this might be a hot take. I've always accepted this and just been like, yeah, of course this makes sense. But the more I thought about it, I wish I could. I found a video essay, I think is what it was, and they were talking about how they kind of like introduced Leia as Luke's brother in the last film. Like they wrote it, they didn't have that planned out.
Yes, because it was kind of supposed to be a balancing act with the love interest. It was supposed to be, does she like Luke? Does she like Han?
Yeah.
You were supposed to kind of pick their favorites.
And then they were like, it also just makes the galaxy feel smaller. It's like, oh, of course they're related. And of course Darth Vader's related.
And the incest is suddenly very real and not nearly as...
Yep, I love the conversation they have in Fanboys where they're arguing about that. They have feelings for each other. I don't know.
The only thing that's coming to mind is like Mon Mothma. I don't know why. That's just one thing. It's like, I don't know. Was it done poorly? No, but I remember those sequences being the most slow-paced and like least Star Wars-y maybe, but they make sense in context. Now, I do like Mon Mothma as a character. And, like a matronly leader of the Rebels or whatever, but...
And she was in Rebels, the show, too. I enjoyed seeing her there.
I'm really struggling to think of anything I don't agree with, because I was like, okay, maybe the opening, because it takes a while, it's a little disjointed for the first Star Wars to get from Mos Eisley to space, or just even to Obi-Wan. But it's not really, it's the hero's journey, so it's like an introduction and then something changes and then he leaves and then comes back. So that's not it. And
I was going to say the pacing of A New Hope might be my favorite pacing out of any Star Wars movie for me.
It's based on the idea of a hero's journey. It's like a perfect arc for a character, and it's meant to be that way. So that's not it. I thought maybe then how long they spend at Hoth, but Hoth's awesome, so that can't be it.
I actually kind of get tired of the beginning of Return. I've seen it so much, and I feel like it takes a while. It's fun.
The Jabba stuff just drag on for a while, but like when you see the full thing and it's not cut down at all, even more so, it kind of also makes sense. Like. And then it gives more of a chance to build up till Luke's introduction. Because it's like, I don't know. And then I could just do the cheap thing and say the Ewoks, but I love the Ewoks.
Oh, I don't mind them. Like I said, I would think about changing it, but I still love them. No,
because I think it's good to have that lighthearted side that's also kind of dark for Star Wars, because that's like the whole universe is like that. You know what? I'll say this. I'll tell you what. I will give you this. If it was today and I was seeing something, I'd be like, oh my God, look what they did. The same way people say stuff about Call of Duty being the same over and over again. They just did the Death Star a second time.
There you go. Thank you. That's one I was thinking. Yes. Okay. I forgot about that. Yeah.
If I was a movie viewer and I was like, oh my God, what's the next great story they're going to do? And they were like, we built the Death Star again. It's
like, you know how that's crazy? I completely forgot about that because I'm always remembered that they had a Death Star. Yeah. Which
honestly, also is great because it's the ultimate battle station, so that makes sense in context of lore. But if as a viewer, I would say most like that's not the best choice.
But what makes that worse is when Force Awakens came out, and they just were like, "It's Death Star.
It's bigger, and now it's a planet, and now
can we not make anything else?"
But again, I liked it then too, which just speaks to like how great the Death Star as a
it was kind of cool that it was snowy and shit.
And it was a whole planet now instead of just so it's not just a moon. That's no planet. You know, they didn't say that. They should have. But
that
or did they? Great. I don't remember. I'm sure they referenced so much stuff. Yeah, so I'd say if I had any problems, any beefs with the old stuff, it would be the fact they just did the same thing again for the third movie. But it's great. I prefer the second Death Star story to the first one. The fact it's a trap, and you know they go in and it's Lando flying, and
that space battle's my favorite out of all of Star Wars. Then Return. I love that.
It's a trap.
It's a trap, and then it's so good. That movie, the ending of that movie is one I just want to experience that because I don't think I have had a time recently where I've watched it with friends, but like Return of the Jedi, I just want to experience that in a theater maybe or just with friends or something. Like I don't know.
And we kind of dogged on the special edition stuff a little bit, but they really did change a whole lot of stuff that was good too. For example, like in the ending there, they took away his eyebrows that were burned off.
Oh yeah.
In the original, they were there. And in Cloud City, they added windows everywhere, so it wasn't so dark. And in the first one, they did the hilarious thing with the donking of the head, the stormtrooper who runs into the thing, and also Han, who runs down and runs into a hangar full instead of just two guys that turn around and decide, there's two of us and one of you.
So
there's good stuff, too. The special edition changes?
Yeah. I actually do. And this also might be a hot take.
I guess if you have to, like, pull pieces out, you could make your own perfect edition, where it's like, gross song, leave that out. They changed the virtual Jabba that walks around Han, get rid of that. Original human Han, get rid of that. Sounds where he screams no when he's holding the Emperor, that's bad too. So I gotta admit, I kind of like. I don't think it's better. The silence is probably better. It's more of an internal dialogue, and then he's like, "What's happening?" But it also works when he says no because it's more. So for some more slower viewers, they'd be like, "Oh, he's not okay with that." But yeah, I get why they wouldn't want that. I was gonna say, I do have a favorite. Yeah, I definitely leave in all the little good stuff he did. You know, like upgraded color, like on the lightsabers and the rotoscope, or is it called rotoscoping? No, just like where there were points where the lightsabers were just the sticks. You could clearly see them. Yeah. They fixed that.
Yeah,
sound design. Obviously, like I mentioned, the windows of Cloud City made the entire second movie so much better. I've never watched it where it's no windowed Bespin. And I knew that looked so good. I was like, how is that effect? And then also the effect of when the Millennium Falcon leaves the Death Star in the first one was actually in the original, which I'm still astounded by. I don't know how they did that. I think they had models, but it looks so good.
My favorite change, which might be controversial, is I honestly prefer that they added, and this is me being a prequel, boy, I grew up with the prequels, adding Hayden Christensen at the end. It kind of just ties adding him as a Force ghost. I know most people probably won't agree with me. I like it just because it to me, it might not make sense logically or anything, which I'm okay with that. I get it. Look, I don't know. It just, for me, it feels
looks
like,
so good with the old guy instead of young Hayden Christensen.
It just feels like a good marriage of the prequels and original trilogy into that final scene.
I'll give you the good marriage of the prequels.
Yeah.
Not that you can have your own opinion. I'm just saying, when you said it, the first thing I thought in my mind, you know what it is?
What is it?
The changing of the voice actor for Boba Fett.
Oh, yeah.
That is the best merging of the prequels for me. Because that makes sense.
That was, I forgot about that. That was another thing, yeah. Well, I don't know. Look, I love Hayden Christensen. I love him as Anakin, and just to me, it was just
I do too, but
I've always been used to that version too.
And I know it's not right. That as I was describing.
I can't help it. I just when I see it, it's just like I feel so emotionally attached to that version of Anakin.
Versions, and I definitely do like. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
I was pretty much done. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. It just, to me, it's just I like seeing it like that. That's just my opinion, but I don't know.
I get it. And I get, you're just like, oh, good, they're saying, showing the thing I love, and it's there, and that's great. But I have seen it with, older Anakin which, by the way, also doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, because it was never that. He was Anakin, and then he was burned, and then he was legless and armless, and then if he was a human again, he would be legless and armless and gray. And I guess it's supposed to be like the concept of heaven, but that's not what Force ghosts are. They're people that have like transcended and now they're one with the Force. So you wouldn't be different. You would be you. So neither of them really actually make perfect sense. And honestly, if I really think about it, that one almost makes more sense because it's when Anakin was a Jedi And then Anakin's a Sith all the way up until he dies. So it's the Jedi part of him that has the light side of the Force.
That's the argument people have made.
So,
that is the argument people.
But it just doesn't look as good as old Obi-Wan and old Anakin standing next to each other.
It's a little
interesting.
Yeah, that is the one thing I could say. That's a little bit. Yeah, I don't know.
And it's disrespectful to the original director, who I always thought was George Lucas, but wasn't.
Nope. At least he only directed New Hope out of the OT. And
even then, he had so much. And that was the thing I learned.
Apparently, saved it in editing.
His wife saved it. Other people helped him hang back and keep him from doing every single idea he had, which is why when Phantom Menace came, nobody did that because he was George Lucas.
Yeah,
and nobody had the gall to fight him on anything, and so that's why he was able to say, "I may have gone a little bit too far in a few places."
I wish they. Oh God, I love that clip. That clip makes me laugh so much.
And you realize I watched a documentary, that's a day before filming, or a day before premiere day, or hours before premiere day. That's it. There's no chance to change anything. And he's like, I don't know.
Yeah. God.
No, I responded quickly, or partially. But I understand how young Anakin can be there, and I understand how old Anakin can be there, but visually, I think old Anakin looks better.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different perspectives on that, I guess.
I mean, if we want to be accurate, it should be melted, no arm and leg Anakin floating there in a robe, and then with that would just look
so visually. I'm like, oh God, you're still fucked up. Do you just want to?
What if he's just screaming? He's like, I thought this changed when you became... It's like, nope, you're this forever. It's like, what do you mean I'm this forever?
And he's just... God. We need a...
Like the joke Family Guy makes where Joe's still handicapped.
Can Corridor Crew do a revision of that?
No, it's... have you seen the Family Guy joke where Joe goes to heaven and he's like, wait, I'm still handicapped? He's like, it's heaven. And God's like, oh yeah, handicaps forever.
God. Yeah, I've seen that. Dude, just speaking of Return of the Jedi, just that ending, man, it's one of the best, with him watching Darth Vader, his burning, God, that's one of my favorite shots. Whew. That movie's so fucking good. I don't know. Hey, you got anything else before we wrap up, I guess?
Nothing off the top of my head. If we had some more time, I was going to ask you just to go over, the things you're most excited about Obi-Wan.
Go ahead. Yeah, I got some stuff.
I don't have anything in particular, so I kind of just want to sit back and respond to some of the stuff you have. I'm excited to see it again. I don't have any ideas for the story. I don't have any ideas for the character. I'm just excited to see it. Yeah. But not overly so. I'm just kind of in a numb, okay, it's coming state.
So, I have maybe not theories, but things that could be possibly seen in the show that I'm just going to throw out there that could be cool. I honestly hope we have some kind of mentioning of Satine. Which would be really cool. There's possibilities of maybe live action Cal Kestis, people have talked about that, rumors, who knows. You could get mentions of the rebels, the rebels, of course, hopefully.
I'm having trouble remembering Cal Kestis. Remind me.
Fallen Kestis? Order, the main Jedi.
Jesus,
Fallen Order.
I can't think of anything right now. Yeah. Okay. I guess that one I'm a little more that's.
It's cool though because obviously a live action version of him, it's just Cameron. It's just him.
Yeah.
Which would look great, but I don't know. They're probably just gonna say it for the game though.
Would Satine only be flashback stuff?
It could be flashback or just mentioned. I'm assuming that. Okay. I'm hoping there's flashbacks. I really
would like to see the stuff done in Clone Wars done in live action in a flashback.
Maybe not even that, but just other stuff. It could be anything. I just want to see Anakin, Obi. Dude, holy shit. What if we... I just moaned right there. I'm sorry, everyone. What if we fucking see flashbacks of Ewan Hayden and Ahsoka? Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. What if we see them three together? I mean, she would be too old, but maybe they would get someone younger to play as Ahsoka, but I would
they could get somebody younger.
Freak out if I saw that shit. That'd be crazy. I don't know.
That would be pretty cool. Not Clone Wars show or movie, but just literally the Clone Wars flashbacks.
Yeah, that's
almost like how they did in the Cartoon Network Clone Wars show. I think it's the second episode where they're literally out in the battlefield and Obi-Wan's talking to Anakin about eating grubs and water from the dirt because they have to live. Do you remember that scene? It's it's the most hardcore I've ever seen Anakin and Obi-Wan because they're in they're literally in a siege of a city that the CIS controls and they're outside of it. And Obi-Wan's laying down while water is like dripping on his head like Chinese water torture, and Anakin comes in with a bag full of grubs and just starts eating.
Oh man, wait, what was this?
It's so hardcore. Yeah, second episode of the Cartoon Network Clone Wars.
Oh, of Cartoon Network Clone. Oh, so the original.
I say second episode, the second part. They were like a bunch of episodes, but
so I don't remember that as well.
5.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, volume
that's
2.
Cool. I would love to see that, but along with the Anakin storming the Jedi Temple, like, and getting some real good footage of that, maybe. I mean, but
we already saw that, like, and perfectly, right? Like,
they cut all that footage out, basically. You just see him walking in, and that's it. And then just
but dramatically, Obi-Wan he walks in, and
which is cool.
He has the army behind him of the 501st, and then he goes to the children's room, and the lightsaber turns on, and he has the eye, and he turns in the camera. Isn't that like just enough to let the imagination go wild? Do we need things? I actually, that is a complaint people do have, is not seeing that. But what you're saying is sometimes is a good point. And it's not exactly how you picture it. And they show the clones dispatching with Jedi. It's like the perfect emotional summary of everything that's happening in the moment.
I feel like Star Wars is especially with Disney. I don't know how to
do it better.
The thing is, with Star Wars with Disney, it's so far gone of being just actually like, God, I need to choose my words carefully here. Being very subtle, subtext, thematic, heady, shit like that. It's kind of just fan service at this point, a lot of it. So it's like, why not at this point? I'm starting to like be able to, like, I can't even discern where the fan service ends anymore, because there's so many actual fans who are making the stuff now. Yeah.
It's not fan service for the sake of doing it because fans want to see it. Some of it's literally like, I want to do it because I want to see it. Or like, I don't know. There's just so much, like, they keep going and finding people to make this stuff that like have experience with something related to it. Not always, but I'm thinking specifically of like the guys who made the Coen brothers. Wait, who made the Avengers? No, it wasn't
Avenger. Not the Coen brothers.
It's another brother.
Russo. They did the later half of the Avengers. Yeah.
Well, who did the first start?
The very first Avengers movie?
No.
Joss Whedon did the very first one.
Yeah, I was thinking of Joss Whedon, but I'm thinking of
the Russo brothers did Infinity War Endgame.
So, but they were comic fans, right? And so, like, that's why stuff works so well. And Jon Favreau was a Star Wars fan, and so like when he started Mandalorian, I know he wasn't the main director or anything, but like he oversaw a lot of stuff, and like being a fan, he made sure things made sense and were good. So it's hard for me to see where the line like just regular fan service for the sake of $1 ends, and where it ends with like a fan making it.
Yeah. I can see that.
And that gets a little worse even though, because now you have people that like maybe their vision isn't the same as yours, and so it gets a little complex.
Yeah. Well, I was going to bring up something. I completely forgot. Like my mind just, so there's a scene from Book of Boba Fett. It's really not a spoiler at all. I'm
not sure I care. I have not heard good things about this show, apparently.
Okay, there's 2 episodes I recommend seeing.
Right, you did say there are a couple like great ones.
And there's one in this one little glimpse of something. It's not, I could tell you it if you want to know it. It's up to you. It's like 10 seconds, so it's up to you. It's
sure.
Okay, so Grogu, the spoilers.
I still know nothing about for Mandalorian.
Grogu has.
Wait, is this a spoiler for Mandalorian or for Book of Boba Fett?
Well, it's kind of you know what?
Because I'm planning to watch Mandalorian.
Okay, so what it is, I won't spoil it then, because what it is these 2 episodes in the Book of Boba Fett. They're pure Mandalorian episodes. So it's literally just don't watch Book of Boba Fett. I promise, just don't watch it. Like honestly, I wouldn't recommend it. But watch those 2 episodes if you're watching Mandalorian. Like, and it's 5 and 6. So
is there any chance it's going to get better? Maybe they're just trying to build up so much stuff in the beginning.
Over, I think. I think it's over. I think so.
Never mind.
I think so. It just was not good in my opinion. It was
a season.
Yeah,
and that's the other thing about this stuff is like with all these shows on like a movie, like you have to keep getting funding to make them, meaning they have to be so successful after every season to fully tell these stories. And a lot of times people are pretty tentative about that stuff, so they may not even tell a huge story or maybe setting up one and never get to it.
Yeah.
So I worry about that too.
So yeah, I won't, like I said, I won't spoil it. It's just a little thing. It's really cool to see visually. So it would be not as cool if I said it, but
okay.
Yeah, no, I'll just keep it at that. Anyway, it's already I'm looking at the time we've been recording, and I just can tell the file size, and the exporting is going to take a billion years. We could talk, guys, for like 3 hours, but we'll be back again.
This is how we met. I asked him if he liked Star Wars. Yeah, great, and then it's been ever since.
We sound, look, I just clarify if there's any commenters, viewers, anything. We are not obviously Star Wars haters. We have fair criticism, I like to think. That is one thing I'll say that I see more on social media now is a bunch of people who are fans of something. Anytime someone criticizes something they love, they're just like, you're a hater, I hate you. And obviously some people are toxic on the other end.
Yeah.
It's a melding pot.
I try to be objective, but I'm definitely the most biased I've ever been in my life for the last 2 Star Wars movies. I really enjoyed The Force Awakens, especially after seeing it, even though it was repetitive of other stories. I didn't care. I enjoyed it as an experience.
It was still fun.
I'm upset with the way the rest of it was handled. Still actively, I'm biased. I'm not a good person to look at it objectively because I didn't like any of the choices they made, and I was angry in the theater. I was angry after the theater. I was angry in summers late in the theater. I'm angry now. So, everything else I can be objective about, that I can't. Just all asterisks.
This man is John Wick, and what they did was they killed the franchise
without any of the technical ability.
Yeah, he just sits home and writes on his blog.
I thought you were saying I was. Yeah. Sorry.
I'm talking about you. Yeah.
Oh, me. Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. Yeah. So, hey guys, thanks for tuning in. It's been your favorite Lucas Hounds, which is one of my favorite terms that fanboys, I think, coined. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's derogatory nonetheless. I don't remember anything
for fanboys. I've got to watch it
talk about all the time.
Like, I remember watching it. I remember seeing you referenced. I remember bits and pieces of it, but I don't remember anything else about that movie.
Yeah, you would still like it. You'll still like it because I watch it regularly. So thanks, guys, for tuning in, and may the Force be with you always and forever until you die and turn into a burnt corpse Force ghost. And then
wait, Force be
fucked forever because you don't have a leg and you're a Force ghost. And is there an afterlife for Jedi? I mean, I haven't done extended research. I just know surface level stuff. And
oh no, he's talking about consciousness and existentialism.
We're
getting into going down a dark place.
Next podcast. God damn it. Okay, bye.